had me when we were shooting with pistols. I was literally
Yeah,
one bullet away.
yeah.
I was
I
one
know.
fucking bullet away.
I
I was like,
know.
oh,
I
he's going to
know.
kill me. He's going to kill me.
It was a good match. I had fun in this match.
Yeah, that was fun.
After midnight for me, so I'm going to head off. Hoping to get
Okay, mate.
the goal this weekend. So I got 46 today, so only, what, 5 more to go. Right, I shall see you later.
All
See
right,
you
man.
later.
See ya.
Who's this one?
Gold. Gold. What's that about?
But yeah, you were Nemesis #1.
I enjoyed it. I was like, yeah, I'll fucking kill it. I'll kill it. I thought we were going to win as well. We were going to win like 7-1, and then you just come back.
Yep, I know.
It was crazy comeback.
Mm.
But defending is always easier than attacking.
Yeah,
so.
yeah, way easier. Defending is way easier. than
Change.
attacking.
So
Someone should change some teams.
All right, let's.
I think these,
Are we waiting or we're gonna?
sides are a bit, these sides are a bit unfair.
Yeah.
Fuck.
just 2 need to go to the other side, but
Oh, nice.
like maybe
Alright, alright.
Raka.
I'll go to the other side.
It's full. Okay, everyone's got one. Hey, dude,
Wow.
let's go.
Psycho, come back over here.
I'm back. I'm back.
That's
I'm
better,
back. I
that's
thought
better,
we all
that's
changed
better.
sides. Fuck's sake.
All right.
Glasses.
Go.
Let's do this.
Quite a hard map to attack this, isn't it?
Mm.
Well, they all are, to be fair. They're all quite hard to attack.
It is quite hard to attack, but it's quite a fun map as for me.
It's got a bit, long corridors, so you can have a bit of a shootout in them.
Mm-hmm.
I weren't that keen on ship. Ship's like really close quarters, isn't it?
Yeah,
Really
ship is really close
close.
quarters, yes. And a lot of corners.
You could probably get away on ship, but like just taking a fucking RCP instead of a dozer.
Huh.
You're never far away from it, are you?
Got a point now. Try that.
RCP is really good. Like,
It is
allows
good, I
shoot-
know.
It allows shoot a Vezin in body shots.
I know, but I also like the Viper though. So I'm.
Yeah, the Viper's pretty good. It's a bit more accurate, isn't it? The RCP tends to spray and pray.
Bollocks.
Oh, 2 deaths?
Yeah.
Already?
On 3 marker.
Oh, well, way off.
We need to get the EMP, don't we?
Yes, we do. Or kill them all.
We'll kill them all, yeah. You should be able to buy like really like cushion shoes on it, so you don't make a noise when you're running. It's like, do you know what I mean? Like
Yeah, I know.
500 fucking thing for a pair of decent shoes.
I know, we make a lot of noise for some reason. Like we're all wearing high heels.
Yeah, it's really loud, isn't it? The thing, I don't think the spatial audio is too good on here though, because I can never tell exactly where somebody's coming from. I can tell they're coming. But
Oh,
don't know
I
where-
can. It depends on the headset though.
Yeah,
How you
because
prefer it.
my old headset I wasn't able to. Now I can.
Yeah,
I'm saying that you're on PSVR, aren't you?
yeah, I'm PSVR too, but I have like a Dolby Atmos, and I got a decent headset.
Shit, gun.
And the good headset does make a difference.
Whoa! Look at this.
Oh, he has the
It
MP
makes it-
there.
It makes a big difference.
You go first so I can shoot over your head. I
Nice.
saved your ass.
Got him. I am
Yeah, you need heals. Let me go first.
I'm pretty much dead.
You go up so you
I
can
can
shoot
do-
above me.
He means don't crouch. He means don't crouch.
Yeah, but when I crouch, I get the corner.
Ah, smart,
I
smart,
think
smart.
he's tucked in there.
He has to be.
Got him.
Nice.
What a
good
shot!
shit.
What a shot!
Yeah, that was
Jericho.
nice.
That was Jericho. Yeah, got him.
You got anything with Robin?
No, too late.
Right.
Two vision or not two vision? Two vision.
You got him.
Wait, who can buy me sights?
I can. Yeah, I can.
No,
actually.
Terror can. He's not buying a vision. Sights? Just choose. Thank you. You're my sugar daddy.
Like, thank you, sugar daddy.
I'm mute, bro. I'm sorry.
You know what? I'm not going to take a Vezin.
You're not?
No, I'm going to take a pistol.
Are you gonna save up?
I'm going to save up. So I want to throw a frag under this fucking door.
Okay, I'll just cover your ass then. Your huge ass.
Nice. Watch on hallway. Watch on hallway.
Are you watching behind me? Okay. Okay.
Sounds like somebody on the left of me.
To the left. To the
Yeah.
left.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll stay back then.
I'm gonna stay wait till you come around.
Go behind those boxes on 5 ping. To rotate on stairs.
Yeah, but
Just
there's
see.
nothing. There's nothing there.
Oh wait,
no.
he's on stairs. He's on stairs. Never mind. Never mind. Never mind. I forgot he was going to stairs.
There's someone coming.
There's no one on that corner, you know.
No, it's clear.
Unless they're tucked in. They're not tucked in. No, they're not tucked in.
Okay, I'm gonna.
They're not tucked in.
Cool.
No.
Yeah, I definitely hear footsteps now.
Oh.
What a shot! What a shot!
I need a gun.
Yo, Doc. Yo, Doc. Yeah, man. I hear you now. Just playing a bit of Breaches.
Alright, dudes.
You alright, mate?
Yeah, not so bad. I can't hear you in Doc's stream.
In Doc's stream, what, in the YouTube stream?
Yeah. I didn't realise that you guys were... Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's fair. What do you think? You're some sort of Nazi or something? No, it was uncanny, man. I was watching you race that, and it was just like, I was sitting there and I was like, oh yeah, you know, from the very start of it, I was like, okay, so yeah, you need to let off at this bit because this is a fucking trick. And then it's like the exact point I'd go, I'd just hear that note in the engine where it's like, oh fucking hell, it's exactly where I do it, and it's like, yeah, you take the exact same line as me. It's actually quite uncanny watching it. Oh, I think you play it pretty well. I mean, you know, you went tiny bit wide on a couple of corners, but by the same token, you don't just jumped into that fucking car. So, you know, the first one, yeah, and that was only on a couple of the early corners, and you didn't go off. You literally just went a little bit too tight into the, yeah. Easily done, but no, it's a great course. I used to use it ever since Forza, is what I was saying in that comment. Ever since the first ever Forza game, I used to use it as my test track. Like whenever I put a car together and sort of did the setup on it and kind of set it up the way I thought I was going to want it, I'd jump onto that track and test it. And I used to run it so many times that it just became like fucking. It's one of those tracks where I couldn't draw it for you if you tell me, but when I race it, I know every fucking corner. Yeah, I couldn't. If you gave me a piece of paper and said draw me Nürburgring, I couldn't do it. I mean, well, maybe no, I couldn't. I don't think I could. But it's like it's weird. It's one of those courses that I don't know, but I know it. If you know what I mean. It's like I don't. It's not like say Brands Hatch, where I literally could tell you right now every corner as you go around it because it's only a short track. I couldn't do that on Nürburgring, but when you're in it, I know it like the back of my hand. Yeah. Oh no. Yeah. Oh no. Oh no. Totally. No, I agree. What I was saying is, it's like something like Brands Hatch, because I've been there in real life and I've raced it plenty of times in games. And it's not that long a course. I literally do. I know every corner in it. I would be able to say, to start off, you go around, you've got a long sweeping right, up a sort straight, take another right, which is essentially a 180. Down, you then take a left, a long slight curve to the left, slight curve to the right, take a right. I know the course. Nürburgring, I couldn't do that. I couldn't run through every corner with you, but for a course, but I couldn't do that. I know it like the back of my hand. It's weird. It's like I know every corner, but I couldn't. It's not like I know what's coming up, but I do. If you know what I mean. But yeah, I love it. Yeah. It is basically a hairpin. It's a long hairpin. Or wide. Yeah. Mm. Well, yeah, what there is actually. No, not an old farmhouse. There is shit over there, and there's actually there's a dirt path that runs all the way around it, and so actually to your left there, slightly back past the hill, there's actually a dirt path, and it runs all the way around it. So you can literally walk the perimeter of the track, and around that back bit, when I was there, they had little kind of stands for like hot dogs and shit like that. There wasn't that much, to be honest. You expect there'd be loads there. There wasn't. You had the grandstand at the front. I wouldn't want to try and get my. Can you imagine what the insurance would be on your farmhouse if you had it on that corner? Mm. It's weird. Most of the racetracks. It's weird though. Most of the racetracks I've been to have got quite a lot going on. This is what weird. Brands Hatch doesn't really like that grandstand that you see at the start on the left. Literally, that's pretty much it, and it's just that upstairs bit. Underneath it is essentially a couple of shops, like one of them which just sells like wallets and key rings and hats. And you've never ever seen wallets, key rings, and hats this expensive until you've gone to Brands Hatch. I mean, it's literally, it'll be like a cap with a Ferrari symbol on it, and you might as well just be buying a fucking Ferrari. They are really, well, not really, but we're going back probably 15 years ago when I went last, and I mean, I think it was about 60 quid for a fucking plain shit, poor quality cap with Ferrari on it. The key rings were like 30 quid, and it was just literally a basic metal band with like Ferrari or something like that on it. So it was a really expensive shop. And there was not much really going on other than that. I mean, it was literally just a grandstand, and it was raining at the time, so no one really wants to be on that. Where all the action was in the car park at the front, which is literally just the other side of that grandstand. It was just literally wall-to-wall Ferraris, Lamborghinis, Porsches. Everyone just basically rolled up to that racecourse in their fucking hypercar and parked. It was crazy. I spent about 50 minutes out in the car park photographing cars. They had all kinds of shit. There was more action in the car park than there was on the track. I went there for the Bear Jackson. No. Oh, oh, okay. Yeah, you see some shit there. Yeah, you'll probably see a lot of kind of more, well, I suppose collectory type stuff in there as well, though, obviously. But this place, I mean, it was just all sports cars. I mean, there must have been 30 Ferraris out there. There were Lamborghinis. There was like, Aston Martins. You name it. There was plenty of R8s and shit. There was a whole bunch of us went, and we were all just out there in the car park. Oh, look at this one, look at that one, and just sort of taking photos and stuff. But we actually went there for the touring car championships, and like when the actual race itself, they were using really souped up things like Exiges and Elises and that type of thing. Like there was all sorts of shit. Like literally, there must have been 30 different drivers and 30 different brand of car, and they were all kinds of shit from older cars and newer shit. Yeah, about that. Yeah, I think an Elise was about 30,000. There were a couple of Elises, and there was an Exceed. Yeah, but yeah, there were a few. Oh yeah, without a doubt. But there were a couple of Elises there. There was this one Exceed, and literally this Exceed, it won the race, and it was about a lap ahead of everybody else by the end of it. It just fucking spanked everything. It was ridiculous. And to be fair, on paper, there's not much difference between an Exige and an Elise. So it's just a much better driver, I'm guessing. But yeah, absolutely a night So it wasn't like a close race or anything. It was quite close between like second, third, and fourth. But first was just well, not miles ahead, but a long way ahead. It wasn't. I'm probably not a lap, probably maybe half a lap, but still a hell of a lead. It was ridiculous. Yeah.
Definitely
No,
not
you're
wrong
right.
on that one. It's
No,
all
definitely
about the
not.
fucking throttle.
Ironically, when I was on my way home from work yesterday, I was literally stood at the bus stop listening to two people having that exact same conversation. They were talking about one of them was talking about what they call Teslas, and he was like, oh, fucking Teslas, and they was like talking about how they're like stealth cars because like you'll step out into the road and boom, there's a Tesla, because you don't hear them coming. And the other one was like, nah, it's like you need the engine, man. You need to be able to hear the engine. Um, but yeah, no, I totally agree. I totally agree. They're also fucking heavy, those bloody electric cars. They got like a ton and a half of batteries in them. I suppose when you're just lining the bottom with fucking batteries, I suppose it's quite easy to get a decent center of gravity, isn't it? Mm, mm. Mm. Yeah.
I mean, maybe it's a case of like until you get in a really fast electric car, you never know how that feels with the torque. It might have some kick in it, you know. It might have some pull
I
in
imagine it probably does. You look at the really fast
Mm.
ones.
Yeah. I'm thinking like it might.
I mean, well, I was going to say, I mean, you know, if you're talking about jumping in something like a P1 or something, then yeah, you're going to have some fun in that thing. But yeah, it's not. It wouldn't be the same. You know, it wouldn't be. You do kind of want to mention, don't you? Anyway, I had an interesting day today, right? My company's been bought out. I came into work today, got pulled into a meeting, and the whole company's been bought. Oh, yeah. Not necessarily negative at all. So far, so good. We've been bought by Bupa, so technically, I suppose I now work for Bupa. But I mean, the best thing about it is that my CEO, literally with immediate effect, is gone, and I couldn't stand that twat. So I was just like, everyone was like, "Oh, you know, goodbye. Sorry to see you go." It's like, yeah, see ya. Down at the door, heat on the way out.
That's crazy.
Mm. Yeah, well, I mean, your place got bought out about a year and a half ago, didn't it? 2 years ago. If I'm honest, this will be the first time that I've worked somewhere at the point where they've been taken over. And so this morning we had the whole kind of the orientation meeting for like 20 minutes, where they basically the new or whatever director, I don't remember her name to be honest, introduced herself and was like, "Oh, hi, you know, we bought you. Just want to say hi, and nothing's going to change. It's all great. Don't worry." I was like, "Okay, all right, fine, fair enough."
You should say, I hope I get a better pay than what I was putting up with this last company.
It's weird, man. Obviously, she's like, "Oh, you know, has anyone got any questions?" And none of us said anything. And she's like, "Okay, cool." And then all day, I've just had people coming up to me asking me questions, like I know anything about it. This is the first I heard of it was today. I had inklings, I had suspicions, but yeah, you're talking about a pension. No, I don't, mate. I don't even need to ask it. I know we've got very clear spec laws over here. So this time last year, basically our company went through the same thing. We took over 10 clinics of another business called Spire Healthcare, and we had to paid a lot of their staff over. And one of the more awkward parts of the whole merger was because, well, not merger, but takeover essentially, was that some of these staff had some quite ridiculous employment contracts. Like a lot of them had like 45 days annual leave, whereas the average in the UK is like 30. Some of them were some were on like crazy money and doing very few hours. No, these are. I mean, you don't really get tenured positions. Well, whether they're first year or third year, fourth year makes no difference. I mean, with our company, oh, yeah, but see, well, it's a bit different over
It
here.
starts
So,
at
like, for
26
example,
over here.
well, over here, yeah, I mean, it depends. It depends. Right. So over here, generally, I mean, our company, for example, my company, you get 22 days plus bank holidays, and we get 8 bank holidays a year. So that works out at 30 days. Then after 3 years, you start to accrue an extra day each year for the next 3 years. So you'll get a maximum of 25, and that's where it caps. So we don't just keep accruing more holiday days, and you know, in perpetuity. Eventually, we get to a cap, and in the case of my company, it's 3, well, 6 years, but you get kind of 3 years top up. And so that's how that works. So when you've got people, I don't care if they've been there for fucking 50 years, if they got 45 days annual leave in a country where your average is 30 to 33, then, but the point is, we bought. No, mate, it's not. I'm not. No, mate, I'm not bitching about it, but from a company perspective, from a business case perspective, obviously, we try to keep everyone on a level pegging. So we bought a couple of them out. What I'm saying, mate, is that so with some of them, we kind of went, all right, I tell you what, how about we'll pay you an extra couple of grand, but then you go onto one of our contracts, and they were fine. With the ones that didn't want to do stuff like that, we just had to honour it. And this is the point I'm making, is that whatever your contract states, whatever your contract stipulates, when a company takes over, they have to honour it. So that's why I didn't have to ask about my pension plans and stuff like that. I know it's not unaffected because that's just the nature of UK employment. So for better or worse, that's just it. Yeah. So that was just a long way of me basically explaining that we don't do that here. So I could. That's it. Now, ironically, a lot of the questions that I've had from people today have been pertaining to that kind of shit. Oh, well, does that mean that they're going to lower our money, or is this, or is that? What's that going to happen? And I've been like, well, no. I said, like, no one's told me anything. But if you want my professional opinion, no, because they can't. That's just how it is. Your contracts are safe. If anything, worst case scenario, nothing changes. Best case scenario, you maybe get more money or more holiday because that's just the way their contracts are, and they will naturally level you up into them. So yeah, it's been one of those. I mean, an employment contract is basically what gives you your rights in employment. Without my contract, they could fire me, they could sack me, I wouldn't have any notice or whatever. That's what it pertains. So whatever's in that contract, they sign, you sign, that's the rules. So whatever notice you've got in there, whatever holiday you've got in there, whatever salary or whatever days, yeah, that's that contract law, isn't it? So yeah, when I say contract, that's basically what it boils down to at the end of the day. Your employment, it all comes down to that. Yeah, tomato situation, isn't it? But yeah, that's basically it. So no, a contract. So a contract is something you sign when you get a job in America, you have to sign something. Presumably, you and the employer both sign an agreement. Yeah. Oh, they always will. You do in the UK. That's it. And the point is that agreement. If the company say doesn't pay you for a month and refuses to give you your money, and you take them to a tribunal, that agreement is what's going to get you paid. That agreement, yeah. No, I don't actually. I'm not sure. Mm. Yeah, no, I get what you mean. So
I would
so
say,
over
like,
here then.
if you're self-employed and then somebody wants some work done, and then as soon as you write an email or a quotation or an estimate, and then they agree to it, then you've entered into a contract, and then you have to abide by that contract. But if you're employed, then you still have a contract, but it's not the same. Like you're guaranteed. Yeah, it's an agreement. Yeah, so you're guaranteed to pay, conditions, hours.
Yeah, it stipulates the terms of your employment. To be honest, the official term for it is terms and conditions of employment, and it basically it is a legally binding agreement between you and the employer. And if you fuck them, they take you to court.
Well, tribunals, yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, you know, a company can't get away with not paying you, no matter what you've done, to be honest. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, basically. But as I say, but terms and conditions of employment are referred to over here as a contract. Just like let's see. Just like a living room is called a lounge and stuff like that. Or some people call it a lounge. Some people don't. So, you know, when I say contract, it's kind of it's essentially the official, unofficial term for what everybody gets and signs when they start a new job in the UK. In business, if you were dealing with an English person, for a business deal. So let's say you were signing to do some sort of work with, or they were going to work with you. Well, even in your current line of work or whatever. But yeah, anything you dealt with an English person in that sense, when it came to actually making an agreement and signing whatever came across, if you referred to it as a contract, the English person would be completely on board with what you were saying, because that's how we would refer to it. Whatever it said on it, whatever it called itself, as far as the English person's concerned, that's a contract. If you get my meaning, so yeah, there are idiosyncratic differences between the two that you're referring to. One of which is an agreement between an employer and an employee. What Rocker will have with his client is an agreement between a contractor and a client. But both have the same purpose. It's to make sure that neither party fuck the other over. And if they do, you can take legal action. Yeah.
Fire.
Okay. So we're going to go for the worst one. Extreme.
Heating.
I think heating would come under. Well, I suppose it would come under public service. So. Yes, unless, essentially, unless the person putting the HVAC in happens to be a sole trader. So let's say Rocker did HVAC, that would be different, because he would then come to us, he would quote us, and we would accept his quote, and then we would enter into an agreement, he would come and sort out our heating. But generally, companies... Yeah. But if a company is dealing with a company, and when I say company, again, I'm not talking about a single person. When I say, even though they are technically a company, yeah. So when I refer to a company, I'm referring to an organisation of, say, 5, 6 people or more. And yeah, so when a company enters into an agreement with another company, though the people that are servicing on either side, the people working in both sides, will essentially have the same contracts, but with a different title. and perhaps some slightly different benefits. One person might get 22 days holiday, another person might, as Rocker says, get 25, or stuff like that. But it's the same contract. They will be slightly differently worded versions of the same thing, covering the same topics. But then someone like Rocker comes and fixes the aircon. He would have a different sort of agreement with us, but both agreements are enforceable by the court. Yeah. When I enter into business with, say, a recruitment company, and they're going to supply me locums, we will sign their terms of business. Yeah, but again, but we also then have to sign. Yeah, they have a contract. They have a contract with us as well. So everything does. So yeah. So if you owned a recruitment company and you came to me and said, Mark, I'm going to sell you some doctors, and I'm like, you know what? Well, that's exactly what I'm talking about. I mainly hire doctors. No, we don't use them. Don't use them. Nope.
Let me just chime in, yeah? Well, what we do have is the way, because the British government are really clever and they're great at screwing the whole fucking nation over. Yeah. Well, the British have an amazing way of doing it, all prim and proper, being the English way, yeah?
They tie a bow around it.
They do, and
they while they fuck you.
They call it a 0-hour contract, yeah?
Yeah, they've come under a lot of scrutiny in the last 12 to 18 months, so I see them being abolished. They've already been morally abolished by most companies. Not.
There's the only way to keep the poor. They're the only way to keep the working poor. So basically,
no, mate. There's lots of ways to keep poor people poor.
Yeah, but this is their main way. Yeah?
That's just one tool out of the box.
Basically, we have a lot of red tape. We used to have a lot of red tape, yeah. So a lot of people would be employed by companies with a nice big fat contract, and they would have to have certain amount of hours and a certain amount of days and a certain amount of pay, and it would all have to be like that. So if like an employer, yeah, say McDonald's or any company you can think of, a few years ago, back in the days, yeah, about 10 years plus ago. If they never gave you enough hours, then you could take them to a tribunal and you could basically sue their asses. And then if you were sick, you could take like a week off work and they couldn't say anything. If you're pregnant, then you could literally they couldn't fire you. Yeah. If you got a contract with Bupa or anywhere, yeah, then back in the days before 0-hour contracts, it would be a ball ache for the corporations to get rid of you. Yeah, it wouldn't be worth it. It'd be too costly. So the government brought out a 0-hour contract where you have it's exactly the same as a self-employed person now, where you have no rights, no holidays, no fucking guarantees of work, no guaranteed hours, they don't have to look after you in the slightest, and then the corporations can get away with literal murder, yeah? So that's how they do it now. So I'm in the same boat as a 0-hour contract worker, and a 0-hour contract worker is the same boat as me. We don't get holiday pay. We've got to pay into our own private pensions if we want a pension, and that's just the whole economy of England, which is that whole thing of like protecting corporations and workers have zero rights. So you can get a job anywhere in England, but you won't get a contract to secure that job. Everybody is on a 0-hour contract.
Well, I wouldn't go that far. I mean, bear in mind, I work in that industry. I work in recruitment and have done for 20 years. I mean, yes. I mean, you can get 0-hour with us, but the fact is, I mean, almost all of our staff are on contract because we want them to be on contract. We don't want them on 0 hours because 0 hours, they do accrue holiday pay, but they accrue it as they work. So the dichotomy between a statutory, a worker that is there in like a full-time permanent capacity versus a 0 hours contract is, so me, at the 1st of April, I get my 30 days holiday, and I can spend them however the fuck I want, and I can spend them all that first month if I wanted to. And then if I left the company 2 months later, I'd owe them holiday and they'd take it out of my pay. Now, the difference with a 0-hour worker Yeah. Now, the difference with a 0-hour worker, and it's a common misconception because there was a time when they didn't get holiday pay, but that got changed about 6 years ago. Legally, they have to get holiday pay, but they accrue it as they work. So generally, you will accrue probably 1 day's holiday with every 6 or 7 days that you work in general, as a 0-hour worker. Now, with a 0-hour worker, the company is not obligated to give you any work. There is no hours agreement. So in a normal contract, you'll say, right, you know, we are giving you, as Rocker says, you know, you are contracted to do 37.5 hours a week. You know, that means that they need to work 37.5 hours a week in order to actually meet the terms of the contract, and we need to allow them to do so. We need to make that available to them. We can't cut their hours and just expect it to be okay. We will then also in that contract agree a salary for said hours. And
are you speaking in the sense of like an agency rather than like a company?
No, I'm talking about legal across the board.
Because your companies are like privatised,
whereas
like the average Joe
company.
Well,
no, we're a limited company, mate. Like 96%.
Yeah, that's private.
In the UK.
Limited company is private. Yeah.
But that's like 96, 97% of companies in the UK. Where your situation is different to a 0-hour, where you don't accrue holiday pay or anything because you are actually self-employed. You don't work for any corporation. You work for yourself. Which means you have to pay your own tax and do all that shit. And unfortunately, you don't get the benefits. Well, you get certain benefits because you get to divvy up how much money you take out of any turnover that you bring in.
I mean, I'm a limited company as well.
Yeah, you are.
But I'm self-employed through my limited company.
So you employ yourself. So you can give yourself holiday pay, but you have to pay it to yourself. So it's a self-defeating.
LTD. Yeah.
Of course not.
No, that's how it's rolled.
You know, I've built like a half a dozen companies, mate. Yeah, I do. I have some concept of how this works. Yeah, that's essentially what it means here. I mean, you sit and you're like, oh, I don't think you guys get it. I think you'll find we do. I think where we're mixing up here is there's a lost in translation between UK and America and the way that we terminology. I mean, assume that
Zero
well, I was
means
telling you
no rights.
before you were telling me how I don't get it. Yeah, 0 hour basically means exactly that. Yeah. So
0 hour means you
0
can't
hour,
take the employer to a tribunal if like you're not happy with something or they want to sack you.
I mean, you're Rocky. You're generalising, mate. You're generalising. So a 0 hour contract means the employer doesn't have to give you any hours. They don't have to give you any hours. You only accrue holiday. No. Not exactly.
We have a minimum wage.
So a 0 hour contract, you will agree a rate of pay. Okay, so there'll be an hourly rate or whatever, but you're not agreeing to how many hours. So what you're saying is we will pay you. So as an example, So what they're saying is like we'll pay you say £25 an hour. We do not guarantee you any hours, but every hour you work, you'll get £25, and you'll be paid on this payment schedule. you will accrue holiday pay with your work. So when you work X amount of hours, you accrue a day's holiday, or you accrue exactly that, or you'll accrue it. Well, to be honest, 0 hours normally accrue it in hours. Yeah, you accrue it as you earn it, as you do it. So you accrue it essentially in hours. Exactly. So, but you've accrued so many hours. Yeah, as I say, normally it's done in hours for 0 hours because days would be unfair. So yeah, you've accrued so much holiday for working so much. We will pay you X amount per hour, but we don't guarantee you hours. Yeah, Rocker's right. Okay, so it's not like, oh, it means you've got no rights. It means that neither party has any control over the other. You don't have to give the company notice if you want to leave. If I want to leave my company, I have to give them 3 months' notice, whether I like it or not. They can take me to court if I don't, and they have to give me 3 months' notice. Well, then they can take me to court, and I won't be too worried about it. If they don't give me 3 months' notice, I can take them to court.